One of my subscribers has asked me to rebuild the Miami Dolphins, but with the new addition of Chop Robinson and Odell Beckham. But if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like and or subscribe. The channel is growing quickly. If we get 150 likes on this rebuild, I'll do whatever rebuild the top comment says. My opinion of their first round pick, Chop Robinson, I think he's a great developmental piece for the long-term future of the team. As of right now, though, I'm surprised that they didn't take defensive tackle Jerzon Newton after losing Christian Wilkins. Also, they could have got a plug-and-play offensive lineman at that spot in the second round. They did get Patrick Paul, offensive tackle out of Houston, so he's going to be playing right tackle for us. So I guess it wasn't the worst move to get Chop Robinson. It was just a surprising one whenever you already spent a first-round pick on Jalen Phillips. You traded a first-round pick to get Bradley Chubb, which, by the way, at the time, I wasn't a huge fan of. I'm not saying Bradley Chubb is a bad player. He was just really injury-prone at this time, so I'm really surprised that the Dolphins were willingly going to give a late first-round pick for Bradley Chubb. I could be completely wrong about that, but either way, they did get Shaq Barrett in the offseason. They did make a lot of offseason moves. They got Anthony Walker Jr. They had David Long, but I'm actually going to do Jordan Brooks here as the starter. I thought that was a nice pickup. He's on the younger side, so I'd like him just to be the starter. They got Jordan Poyer at strong safety. Cam Smith was from last year's draft. They got a nice depth at defensive back here, but honestly, I was surprised by this edge rusher move. Again, I think it should have been Johnny Newton at this spot or some type of offensive lineman center. Jackson Powers Johnson wouldn't have been a bad move for the Dolphins as well. But overall, the team is a total speed demon. And of course, how could I forget Odell? If I'm being real here, I'm a Ravens fan, and I know whenever he gave us like 500 yards, Odell gave the Ravens almost next to no production. Let's be real here. I know he was all a childhood memory for us. He's not good anymore. I don't want to say washed because he's still giving numbers, but like at the same time, he's an average receiver. If not, dare I say, he's below average. He's not giving crazy numbers. He's not putting up 800 yards a season, not even close to 1,000 yards per season. Odell, like, I hate to say it, he's washed, and people won't accept that fact just because it's like, oh, wash doesn't always mean terrible. It doesn't mean he's a terrible player. It just means he's far from his prime, which is what wash means. People always think that means absolutely terrible. Be real. Ever since the couple good seasons he had in Cleveland, he hasn't been good. He's washed. He's ring chasing. Well, he was ring chasing. He got a ring with the Rams. He was ring chasing with the Ravens again. But I think he wants to settle down and retire in Miami, Florida. So I think he's coming here for his final season in Miami. He's bounced around to 3 different teams in the past 3 different seasons. So overall, I mean, he wasn't signed for a whole year due to injury. But Odell, let's be real, guys. I know everyone wants to keep him as a childhood memory. He's not what he used to be. I think this will be his final year in the NFL. I'm not going to be re-signing him, but that's just my 2 cents on Odell. If you don't like it, you don't have to. It's just my opinion. But for the rest of the team, Tua, the Dolphins are in contract talks with Tua for the next season, so they will keep him as a long-term QB. My opinion on Tua, coming into the draft, coming out of the draft, I said he was going to be a bust. I'm clearly wrong. He's far from a bust. He's not an amazing player, but he is a good player. I don't know how well he's going to be doing in the playoffs from here on out. I know a lot of people are stingy whenever I say that. I think he is a good player in the regular season, but there's obviously so much you can do in the regular season until you finally need to perform in the playoffs, which, again, the Dolphins haven't really made the playoffs that often. They usually go 8-9 or 9-8. I mean, they had Skylar Thompson in the previous year starting the playoffs against the Bills. Tua was injured because he's a concussion maniac, but obviously, again, that's not his fault. I'm not hating, but I was wrong about Tua. I said he was going to be a bust. He's good. I mean, in the playoffs, not so great. Of course, playing the Chiefs as a first-round opponent is very, very tough for him and the rest of the team, but still, I don't know if this Dolphins team is ready to make a huge run in the AFC playoffs. Obviously, it's more difficult than the NFC. People want to argue that. You can. I don't care. AFC is clearly better than the NFC. I don't care what anyone says there. But Tua has some great weapons with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. They got really a speed team here with Jonnu Smith as well, who's a great speed tight end for them. Again, I was surprised that they didn't go offensive line. But for now, I'm starting Devon Achane here, or Devin Achane. My bad, not. Is it Devon Achane? Achane. I mean, with the hyphen there, I'm pretty sure it's Devon and not Devin, but still, Devon Achane is what I'm going to call him because of that hyphen. And then Raheem Mostert is going to be the number 2. Devon Achane is younger, of course. Defensive-wise, I think the Dolphins look great, especially when Jalen Ramsey is healthy. Achane is going to be the starter here, and then Odell, I guess I'm going to keep him in the slot. Chop Robinson, he's going to just play in rotation. Shaq Barrett, I don't really see the key or the points signing, maybe development for Chop Robinson, but they got Barrett before they signed Chop Robinson, so I don't know about that. And also, Zach Seiler, or Sealer, I always say it wrong. He is a beast in Madden Simulation. This dude always gives me so many numbers for no reason. Hopefully he does continue to give me numbers throughout the simulation. So hopefully he just balls out for no reason like he does. But in real life, he's pretty underrated. So anyways, guys, enough of me yapping. Super long intro. Let's just move into the midseason mark. 3-4, top of the division. The Jets don't seem to be doing that well. I mean, we don't seem to be doing that well either. I mean, our defensive points per game is 13th. Our offensive points per game is 22nd, which is crazy for Mike McDaniel. These are the playbooks I'm running. I always do vertical zone run, Dallas offense, which always works well. Someone told me to do the Kansas City defense, so I'm trying it here. I'm going to let it cook for the entire season, see how well it works, and then I'm just going to go from there. We have a breakout defensive lineman here. Who is that going to be? It is going to be Phillips. It's going to be, why am I blanking? Phillips. Jalen Phillips has the breakout challenge. I don't know why I blanked so hard on that, but he's the one that gets it. For the scouting national focus, it obviously has to be interior offensive line here. For the players ready to negotiate, I have negative 9.1 million. Isaiah Wynn, Nick Needham, Deshaun Hand, and all these other guys. I'm going to lose Jake Bailey. I'm going to lose who I actually wouldn't mind back. Jalen Waddle and Jalen Phillips. I'm going to both need to sign their options so that way they stay with the team, and neither of them have an interest with the team, so that's not good. But for now, we're just going to have to deal with it and move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, finishing 7-10, bottom of the division. Go team. I mean, at least my defense is performing, unlike my previous simulations, but 7-10. My defensive points per game is 8th. My offense is just atrocious. Stats and awards: Tua, top 10 QB in terms of passing and passing touchdowns. Offense 12th, defense 20th. However, my points per game 8th, but my defense is ranked 20th. I guess that's in total yards. Tua, 4,000 yards, 7 interceptions, 31 touchdowns, 104 pass rating. That's a nice season for him, actually great season. Devin Achane, only 3.6 per carry, 4 touchdowns, and 4 fumbles. Not really the best season for him, but we'll let it slide because it's Madden Simulation. Tyreek, 80 receptions, 1,111 yards, 10 touchdowns. Odell with 11 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. I mean, I guess he completely shut me up, but it's not like I'm going to be able to re-sign him anyways. Jalen Waddle, 900 yards, 5 touchdowns. I'd rather the receptions go to him than Odell. Jordan Brooks, 103 tackles for a loss, 18 for Zach Seiler or Sealer. You know, I'm always going to mispronounce that. And he also leads the team in sacks. I told you this guy was really good in simulation, and he's proving it here by leading the team in tackles for a loss and sacks. Interception 3 for Kendall Fuller. Safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. And the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. Who would have guessed? Wow, they beat the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Dak Prescott wins the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes wins another league MVP, and there are no awards here for the Dolphins. In the AFC East, Aaron Rodgers, Tyrod Taylor, and Von Miller all retire. For the team upgrades offensively, we look the exact same. Wow, who would have guessed? Defensively, what do we have? My defensive tackle does get star dev. Anyone else for upgrades that I can see? Chop Robinson comes with star dev. I already knew that. Everyone else here looks the exact same. Let's move into the re-signing. And for the re-signings, I suddenly have 11 million. I don't know how that works. I guess it's because we're now in the next season. It's technically the 2024 ongoing season because you start in the year 2023. Can't really fix that unless you want to import a bunch of fake rookies. But Jalen Waddle, I'll accept his option. Same thing with Jalen Phillips. Isaiah Wynn, Nick Needham, Deshaun Hand, and all these other extras can walk. I actually wanted Jake Bailey before, but now, since we're not going to be in the Super Bowl, the punter doesn't like it. So I guess we're not keeping him. Only 11 million to spend in free agency. I think I'm just going to go get a new punter. Got a new punter in Corey Bojorquez. That's fine with me. So I'm at pick number 7 here, and I'm not going to be willing to use a top 10 pick on this defensive tackle. Is so far down the board. Dom Bowers here. He looks really, really nice, but I don't think I'm going to reach that hard on a defensive tackle, so I'm just going to wait and trade back here. Wow, Bears, you're like, oh, you can have our next year's first round pick if you give us a top 7 pick. Wow, what a negotiator, dude. So if I trade back with the Buccaneers, I get their pick 28 this year, and I get their next year's first, and their third, and their fourth. Baker Mayfield's pretty good in simulation, but typically the Buccaneers don't retain them. So I'm going to let the Buccaneers trade up here. I'm going to trade back to pick 28, so it's in the state rival, I guess. I mean, it's not even in in the same division or even the same conference. So who do the Buccaneers pick? Left tackle out of Florida. They gave up 2 first-round picks for an offensive tackle. All right. And in the first round, I picked 28, Xavier Brothers here out of LSU, 6'4", 315, elite strength, great acceleration, looks just as good as the other guy, just about. A tackle, B block, shedding, B awareness. I'm going to choose him. Of course, why would the guy with great athleticism, great skills, and 94 strength as a rookie have normal dev? This is why I usually never pick defensive tackles in the first round, because they have normal dev, like, all the time. I need to just stop picking them. And in round number 2, left guard Dante Langford, not Deontay, Dante Langford out of South Carolina, 6'5", 323, hidden dev, 91 strength as a rookie is amazing. A's and B's across the board. In round number 3, center Steven Nugget. Wow, what a name. Out of South Carolina as well. The left guard's teammate here, 6'4", 300 pounds, hidden dev, 87 strength, 78 acceleration. So many A's across the board. Sure, F run block, but the pass blocking looks amazing. Now, this is the team after the draft. Nugget is a 73 overall. He's immediately going to be a starter, and I'm going to move Brewer here to right guard just because he has a higher overall. He also goes up to a 76 overall, and where's my tight end that I drafted? I got one in the 4th round. Evidently, we have too much depth at tight end for me to even see him, so I guess he wasn't even that high of an overall. But the receiving core looks great. Why is Odell here for more than 1 year? Let me look at his contract real quick. Yeah, so whenever you sign guys in simulation, well, to a roster outside of franchise, for some reason they sign for longer than one year just in free agency. I don't know why, but I'm actually going to change his contract and cut him from the team because it was only supposed to be a 1-year deal. Yeah, so sorry to all the Odell fans out there. I just don't care. Even if I accrue $5 million in cap, I'm still saving money by cutting him in general. I shouldn't have to accrue any dead cap, but it is what it is. I'm just going to leave it at that. McQueen, who is this guy? We got Kevin McQueen. Oh my gosh, guys. Guys, if you know, you know. Tokyo Dragons franchise season. Devin McQueen. He was a receiver that I picked out of the University of Miami. This time we got him out of USC. We had Devin McQueen, who was a receiver. I moved him to running back. He was hella fast. This guy is hella fast. This is Devin McQueen's long lost brother. Only the real ones know the Tokyo Dragons franchise. That shit only got me like 200 views per video. He had 99 speed and 98 acceleration in his rookie season. Kevin McQueen, dude. We had Devin McQueen's baller, Kevin McQueen. He's got to play. He's got to immediately play for this team. We got to see the development here, boys, of Kevin McQueen. This is legendary. This is revolutionary for my channel. Defensively, though, Brothers is a 75 overall. I mean, was this the guy that I was looking at? I mean, in the early first round? I don't think it was. I still kind of want him just to be the #1 so that way he could potentially get started out. That'd be really sick after just 1 season. And Shaq Barrett's contract should also just be 1 year as well. So let me check this. Yeah, I don't know why the AI just signs him to 3-year contracts whenever I make my rosters. You can't change the contracts either. I always have people asking me, oh, why can't you change the devs? Why can't you change the contracts? You can't. EA just doesn't allow it. Shaq Barrett might have gotten a 2-year contract in real life with the Dolphins, but in Madden, I'm cutting him. I don't need him for anything, nor do I actually want him for anything. So he's gone, and I'm going to move David Long here to left outside linebacker. And then for everything else, it looks good. I'm probably going to move my rookie defensive tackle to the rush defensive tackle. Brooks is going to be the sub linebacker. A-Chain is going to get all the reps. And I'm going to move Kevin McQueen to the slot wide receiver. Everyone else here looks good. I have everything adjusted. The offensive line will hopefully develop. And the team looks a lot better than the previous season. Hopefully these playbooks don't screw us again and we actually finish somewhat better than bottom of the division. Okay, improvement 4-2, top of the division here. My defensive ranks are actually looking good, so thanks for the suggestion to the commenter who gave me the Kansas City playbook. But I mentioned this before, whenever your defense starts performing good in Madden, your offense just sucks unless you have a god tier, like 96 overall team. But even then, I miss the playoffs sometimes with like 92 overall teams and it doesn't make sense. For the scouting national focus, I think I'm going to do middle linebacker here. I think out of all things, I'd like to have depth there. And for the players ready to negotiate, I have 34 million. I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose so much here. I have to be in a Super Bowl chase. Dog, you do realize that you're the quarterback and you know, kind of determine that. Tua wants 46 million a year. And I think if Danny Dimes is getting paid 40 million a year, I think this would be easily negotiable for Tua in real life. Hopefully we make some type of run here so that way Tua's contract is better for us long term. I'm going to lose a lot of people here. Javon Holland, I'm going to have to tag and trade this dude. I'm not going to be able to afford his and Tua's contract, which totally blows because I would honestly I would honestly, I'm not going to say I would rather have Javon Holland over Tua because Tua's a 92 overall superstar dev QB in simulation. So, yeah, and this guy also here, he should have a 4-year contract. Kamara, he should not have only a 2-year contract, so I'm going to change that. I wouldn't mind having Cahoon back here if that's how you pronounce his last name, but, I mean, I'm going to end up tagging Javon Holland anyways, so I think I'll have to do this. I mean, he's really nice depth. He's young. He has star dev. I'm just going to sign this here, and I'm going to go into negative cap debt for Tua and Javon Holland. Raheem Mostert's just going to have to walk because of his age. Brewer, I wouldn't mind, but again, I can't sign him. Braxton Berrios, I can't sign. Everyone else here is just a no for me. $29 million. I'm totally screwed. I might not even be able to tag and trade one of these guys. Hopefully, I have more cap room in the 2025 season. Hopefully, Tua isn't picky about his contracts because I'm probably going to end up having to pay him around $50 million a year, which is going to suck. So let's move into the playoffs. And we go 9-8 and miss the playoffs. This is EA Sports for you guys. Yay, go team. My offense, mid. My defense, I mean, it's not mid. It's 11th. Then my defense is 12th. And yeah, go team, go EA, my favorite game of all time. Stats and awards, Tua, not crazy, but definitely not bad. 17th best offense, mid, defense, mid. Tua, 4,100 yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 105 pass rating. Nice season for him. Nothing crazy though. Devon A-Chain, my bad, 1,100 yards, 3.9 per carry, 19 touchdowns. It's great for him. Only one fumble this season, my God. Tyreek Hill, 1,300 yards, 7 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, 3 touchdowns. 900 yards. Kevin McQueen, baby, 800 yards, 7 touchdowns. I can't believe that was a crazy poll that he was not only in the draft class, but the AI drafted him. That's crazy. Blocking wise, I don't really care. Jordan Brooks with 131 tackles for a loss, 18 for Jalen Phillips, not Jaden. And then sacks, 10 for Jalen Phillips, 9.5 for Xavier Brothers. That's definitely going to be star dev. That's sick for a rookie. Bradley Chubb with 6 sacks, 3 for David Long. Interceptions, 5 for Jalen Ramsey. Safeties on team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for Javon Holland. So maybe just base 4-3 is the move because a lot of people tell me that's the only one that really works in terms of a scheme because the scheme fits don't matter in terms of actually winning games. It just matters in terms of giving you XP. So usually this is what I'm just going to try to run again. Madden's very frustrating. EA won't even tell you what the good playbooks are. You don't even need to tell me what overpowered playbooks are. They don't even explain them. They're just like, why not just release the game and give no tips on how to work this game. And the Ravens lose back-to-back Super Bowls. Jaden Daniels in year number 2 with the Commanders wins the Super Bowl MVP. Lamar Jackson wins the league MVP, and Xavier Brothers wins the Rookie of the Year. That's exactly what I wanted. In the AFC East, Raheem Mostert retires. For the team upgrades, Kevin McQueen does not get upgraded, but I don't care. He's going to stay my slot forever just because he's the GOAT. Offensively, Langford and Nugget both stay with, or is it Nougat? Am I just stupid? It's Nougat. I'm so stupid. There's no 2 G's. Whatever. Jordan Brooks with Superstar Dev. Xavier Brothers goes from normal to Superstar Dev. That's awesome for a rookie. And then everyone else looks the exact same. So now we have 36 million. Tua is interested with the team. Oh my gosh. Now I got to pay him 48 million a year and I can't even pay him. It's in the negatives. So I'm going to have to do some finessery here, which is called team friendly. Dump his contract completely. If you guys know, you know, I'm going to have to franchise tag him, then dump a whole bunch of other contracts to finesse his contract just for this. So he's going to decline $40 million a year. That's fine. And then we're going to take Javon Holland, give him a 1-year contract. We're going to lose all these other guys. So let me get to this. So what the method is you make Tua decline first off, and then you give Javon Holland absolutely every penny you have, so that way he stays with the team, specifically on a 1-year contract. So that way, whenever he stays on this 1-year contract, you can just trade away his contract and he won't be much of a problem for you in the next season. So do I pay him this much? Because I know whenever you trade away some players, it's ridiculous, but still $30 million for 1 year for Javon Holland, and he's not interested. $30 million, and you said no. Your original offer was you wanted $23 million. Dude, that's crazy. Oh my gosh. I can't do anything about that. That sucks. I'm going to have to tag Tua. I couldn't even pay Tua in the first place, despite his interest with the team. I'm losing Javon Holland, David Long, Aaron Brewer, Braxton Berrios, and all these other players. I honestly wish I didn't have Bradley Chubb in his contract at this point. Can I trade at this point? Definitely not. and I can't even get him back in free agency since I have negative 20 million from Tua. That totally blows, dude. Let's move into the draft. And we are back on the clock at pick number 7 because I traded away with the Buccaneers, and we also have pick 18, so that's actually pretty sick. Braden Thomas here out of Florida, 6'2", 241. A top 10 tight end is crazy, but he looks crazy as well. You know what? F it, we ball, baby. Braden Thomas, hidden dev, 6'2", 241, 86 speed, 86 jumping, 91 acceleration, 87 agility, A's across the board. He looks amazing. And with my other first-round pick, Javon Holland's replacement, Tony Fernandez out of Miami, so he's staying local, 6'1", 211, 91 speed, 86 acceleration, 89 agility, 88 change of direction, only 84 jumping for a safety, but it's fine. Hidden dev, B's across the board, A hit power, he looks great. In the second round, getting a new right guard to replace Aaron Brewer, Ricky Brooks out of Louisville, 6'5", 332, 91 strength as a rookie is amazing. Hidden dev, A impact blocking, A lead block, B pass block, and B pass block power. He's going to fill in the rest of our offensive line. And in the fourth round, picking up middle linebacker Monty McKee out of Iowa State, 6'3", 252, hidden dev, 85 speed, 84 acceleration. B's and A's across the board. For being a day 3 prospect, that's pretty good. Now, this is the team after the draft. Braden Thomas. This ain't Brian Thomas, boy. This is Braden Thomas. He's a 78 overall baller pick. Brooks is a 75 overall. This offense looks so sick. It better be top 10 here with Kevin McQueen, baby. Great offense around too. I'm going to have to pay him an absolute bag. McKee is a 74 overall for a day 3 guy. I'm going to move him to left outside linebacker. This is going to be David Long's replacement. For a 4th round pick, this was a pretty baller pick, dude. He actually moves up to a 75 overall. I'm going to move Brothers to the starter just because of the superstar dev, and he was balling last year. Fernandez is a 75 overall. These are nice replacements, but losing Javon Holland was really a low blow. And honestly, do I cut Bradley Chubb at this point? Not cut him, trade him, because I know his contract is probably atrocious at this point in the game. Is it? Yeah, $26 million a year to give me 6 sacks. Like, it's pretty frustrating, especially when I have Chop Robinson. I wish I traded him earlier so that way I could have had Javon Holland. I know it's like, he's 29. He's technically in regression. I don't want his contract anymore. I'm trading this guy. And the Commanders are willing to give me a late 2nd round pick for him. I mean, for a 29-year-old edge rusher who's producing me 6 sacks and I have to pay around $27 million a year, sure, take him all you want, dude. I don't care past this point. Chop Robinson, he is profiled as a rush right end, so he's going to get a chance now in year number 3 finally. I really wish I traded Bradley Chubb earlier on. He gave me 6 sacks last year and I'm paying him $27 million. Absolutely not, dude. So all my specialists look good. I mean, defensively, I don't look bad. Jalen Phillips, I would like him to give me a little bit more numbers. I mean, he actually got me double-digit sacks last year, right? So I don't know what I'm tweaking about. Chop Robinson is what I meant to say. Hopefully, he gives me good numbers here in his first starting year with the team. He's in the specialist. Kevin McQueen, baby, I need you to step up. And Tua, please don't be picky with your contract, even though I already know you will be. Let's move into the midseason mark. 2-5, bottom of the division. My defense just sucks now. Oh, it's because you traded Bradley Chubb. Yeah, the guy who was giving me 6 sacks. I mean, Javon Holland's gone. That sucks. So it's probably a big factor, even though my defensive rushing game is obviously the problem. So, I mean, honestly, at this point, the Chiefs playbook clearly isn't working. I'm going to go back to Buffalo's playbook, which clearly didn't work for me in my last Chicago Bears rebuild. I even do research on which are the best playbooks, and this right here with the Buffalo playbook, if I can ever find it. This right here is what I look up and I find on like places like Reddit, Quora, anything that I ask. Literally, this is considered the best playbooks in the game, and I get no results from my defensive playbook. The Dallas playbook works great if you don't use the Chiefs defense. I don't know why. I guess it's just a nerf to balance it out. Scouting national focus. Is there a certain position here that will make my team go crazy? I mean, Tua isn't that nuts in simulation for us, but I have to pay him because he's a superstar development QB that I need on my team. So sure, why not just have more depth at defensive back that I don't really need? $101 million to spend. That would have been nice to have. God. Tua, 5-year contract, $48 million a year, around $50 million a year almost. He resigns. Jalen Waddle, what do you want? You don't like the scheme fit? I don't care. I'm just going to wait till the end of the year. At this point, Jalen Ramsey, I'll do a 3-year contract with him, $22 million a year. He resigns long-term. Jalen Phillips, Jordan Brooks, Kendall Fuller, Tier Tart. I only have $34 million left. I'm going to lose Jordan Poyer. No, I'm going to lose the GOAT, Skylar Thompson. What will we ever do? Jalen Waddle's a priority. If it doesn't like the scheme fit, I don't care. He's going to resign with the team. I only have $10 million left. After that, now I have to pay Jalen Phillips a bag, dude. That's crazy. Okay. Jordan Brooks, I mean, I would have to overpay for him too because he doesn't want to be here either. He doesn't like the scheme fit. Nobody likes the scheme fit. He wants to be in California. I mean, didn't you come from the University of Miami? Is your home in California? I mean, I guess, but like, why would you, if you want to be close to home, why would you leave California to go play football in Miami? You were a D1 athlete. I'm sure you had plenty of offers out west. And you're like, no, I want to go to Miami. And then he gets selected and stays in Miami. Now he's mad that he's in Miami. All right, that makes no sense. And the defensive playbook change works to perfection as we make a comeback on the season, 10-7 second in the division. Hey, I'm just glad we made the playoffs as we should. And defensive points per game is 7th. My offense magically started working better even though I only changed my defensive playbook. So that's EA Sports for you. Stats and awards, Tua looks amazing here. 120 pass rating, 4th best offense in the NFL, 7th best defense. And suddenly the Buffalo defensive playbook works amazing. I use these exact same playbooks in my previous Bears rebuild. It doesn't work. They're like, oh, well, maybe it's the team. It shouldn't be the team. It should be the playbook because that's apparently what EA says. Anyways, enough complaining. Tua with 4,300 yards, 34 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions, 120 pass rating. Amazing year from him. Devon A-Chain, my bad. I keep saying Devon. It could be Devon. I'm just stupid. Either way, Devon A-Chain, 12 touchdowns with 3 fumbles this year, 4.3 per carry, 1,000 yards. Tyreek, 113 receptions, 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, 9 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. Kevin McQueen, he might not be the guy. I think he just has to play running back. But, I mean, this isn't bad for a late-round pick. But Kevin McQueen, man, you're being disappointing to your godly brother, Devin McQueen. Jordan Brooks with 107 tackles for a loss, 12 for Jalen Phillips, sacks 16 for Jalen Phillips. That's going to be superstar dev. Sealer with 6 sacks, 12 tackles for a loss. Chop Robinson, really, dude? 4 sacks, 8 tackles for a loss. This is mad disappointing, but at least I don't got to pay you $26 million a year. 3 interceptions for Jordan Brooks. Safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. Now, what I want to know is who is the Raiders quarterback to be able to get them the top of their division against the Chargers and the Chiefs? It doesn't make quite a lot of sense here, as it's Drake May, because for some reason in my rosters that I make, they only sign 2-year contracts, and then the AI doesn't let them develop, and it doesn't re-sign them. For those guys saying, oh, well, why don't you give them longer contracts? I can't. You physically can't import longer contracts. The AI just gives them a random contract whenever you import them. It's not high. It's a cheap contract, but it only gives them like 1 to 5 years. It's random at that point. You have no say in it for some reason, but hey. Raiders got Drake May now. Sure, let's go with the storyline that they traded him whenever I know his contract ran out. We beat Drake May 14-7. Defense clutches up. Now, can we beat CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans to move on to the conference championship? I don't think we will, but we do. 31-28 here to face the division rivals and the division champions, the New York Jets. Let's see if we can beat them to move on to the Super Bowl. Here we are against the New York Jets. We're going to open up with 7. They're going to respond with 7. We're going to start with a punt now, and then they're going to put 7 on the board. Offense ties it right back up, 14-14, 21-14, opening up the half with the ball, 21-21. We take back the lead, 28-21, fourth quarter. Offense, please get another score. It's 28-28. Just run the ball and kick the field goal. 35-28 is going to be your final score as Baker Mayfield is on the Jets. I can actually see that happening in real life, but 35-28 is your final score as the Dolphins are going on to the Super Bowl in year number 3. And all it took was just going back to my original playbooks. 10-7 as we are here in the Super Bowl, here to face the 8-9 Atlanta Falcons. Is it Michael Penix that's bringing them here? Yes, it is Michael Penix who actually retains with the Falcons, and as he goes from normal to superstar dev, so I guess the AI just immediately cut Kirk Cousins. For the team upgrades, Tua goes up to a 99 overall boosted superstar X Factor. That's awesome to see. Braden Thomas, superstar dev. Brooks was star dev. The O-line looks nice. Thomas was actually a nice pickup. I'm cool with that because I don't got to pay him, and that's really the key thing. I know I sound like a greedy bastard when I say that, but Fernandez here with superstar dev, so that's sick as a new safety replacement. McKee only was star dev, but that's fine with me considering he was only a 4th round pick. 87 overall team. I'm not going to lose the 8-9 Michael Penix Falcons. And the Atlanta Falcons get home field advantage. They're going to start out with nothing. We're going to respond with nothing. They finally put the first points on the board. We're going to respond with 7 as well. They're going to respond with nothing, and then we're going to take the lead 10-7 here. Our first lead of the game, 13-7, 6 points, 21-7 after a big pass, 14-21. Just keep extending the lead. 2-score game with 2 minutes left. That should be the game, and it will be the game. 28-14 is going to be your final score, as this will be a successful Miami Dolphins rebuild, and we did it the year after losing Javon Holland Allen. Was it the year after? Maybe before, but still, your Miami Dolphins are Super Bowl champions, and this will be a successful rebuild, and we still have one more year to go. Your Super Bowl MVP is Tua. Your league MVP, really? Tua won league MVP? That's actually crazy. I mean, it's a great season. He had a 6th most passer rating. He only had 2 interceptions, was 6th in passing touchdowns, top 3 in passing yards. I mean, I'll definitely take it. I just didn't expect it with not even being the leading stat leader in either of the top 3 there. Can't even see the rest of the league MVPs. I'm just surprised by that. But still, nonetheless, amazing year for Tua, winning the Super Bowl MVP, the league MVP. There were no other awards here for the Dolphins. In the AFC East, Micah Hyde retires with the Bills. For the players ready to negotiate, I think I'm just going to try and tag Jalen Phillips. I don't really know why we're so far out of money other than Tua's contract. I mean, I guess with Tyreek's contract, it's kind of crazy, so I'm just going to try and finesse this for the final year. So he says he doesn't want to play for the team. I don't care. You're not going back to California. You're staying in Miami where you chose to go for college. But anyways, Jordan Brooks, Kendall Fuller, Tier Tart, Boogie Basham, all right, that sounds like a dance move. Jordan Poyer, our GOAT, Skylar Thompson, all these other extras are leaving. In the first round, picking up a strong safety to replace Jordan Poyer, 6'3", 211, Charles Smith out of Oklahoma. Sounds like a really old name. Hidden dev, only 84 speed. I don't know how you have 84 speed and 92 acceleration, but I guess it is what it is. A pursuit, A block shedding, B play rec, and B tackle. In round number 2, to replace Jordan Brooks, middle linebacker Marquez Hendricks out of Oklahoma State, not out of Oklahoma, 6'3", 251, hidden dev, 87 speed, 87 acceleration. B's across the board, 1A in tackle. He looks good. In round number 2, actually, with my other second round pick, Dakota Stewart out of Penn State, 6'2", 303, hidden dev, 90 strength, 81 speed, 85 acceleration is actually crazy for being 300 pounds. A finesse moves, A play rec for a third round pick, well, actually late second round pick, almost third round pick. He looks great. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys want me to do a Kevin McQueen and a Devin McQueen career simulation. I'm gonna put Kevin McQueen in Devin McQueen's like universe, if you want to call it that. I'll put him in the Dolphins franchise for the Tokyo Dragons franchise. Kevin McQueen will be an absolute baller for the Miami Dolphins. He's only year number 2 in USC, and he will be a baller for whoever he plays for. I mean, he has been crazy for us, but hey, it would be a cool storyline. Just it depends if you guys want it. But anyways, this is the team going into the 4th and final year. Offense is stacked. I'm really happy that I picked that tight end, even though he was a top 7 pick on a tight end. I don't really care. Hendricks is a 74 overall. I'm going to start him. Stewart is a 73. He's going to be the 3rd string defensive lineman. Chop Robinson, I mean, I know this is only your 2nd year starting, but hopefully you can actually have a better 2nd year. Smith is a 74 overall. And everyone else looks pretty good here. For the specialist, why are you starting Kamara? Chop Robinson is literally the same overall. That's so frustrating, dude, that I have to do that manually just because the AI is retarded 90% of the time. Okay, and with that, Chop Robinson is now the starter, and we will be moving into the 4th and final season. I'm sure the AI will just tell us we missed the playoff. Actually, 13-4, top of the division here above the Jets. I'm sure we're going to lose in the wildcard round because of Madden simulation. I guess my playbooks magically work again. I don't know how that works, but okay. Stats and awards, Tua looks great once again. Let me make sure he's not league MVP this time. He's top 3 for league MVP, so great season from him. 2nd best offense in the NFL. Defensively, what do we have? 8th. He's doing amazing. Don't give him enough credit. 34 touchdowns to 3 interceptions, 127 pass rating, 4,100 yards. Great season from him. Amazing season. Top 3 QB in the NFL this season. Obviously top 1 last year. Devon A-Chain here with 1,700 yards, 5.5 per carry, 22 touchdowns. That's worth an X factor. That's an amazing year. 2 fumbles, but still, he had an amazing year this year with the team. Kevin McQueen, baby. He broke out. I was a believer. He didn't do anything for me year 1. He didn't really do too much year 2. I was a believer since day 1. Outperforming Tyreek Hill. He just needed a breakout. He just needed a little extra push. He said, no, I'm not switching to running back like my loser brother, even though the Dragons won a Super Bowl. But so did the Dolphins. He said, I got a ring. I'm not going to live in the shadow of my brother Devin McQueen. Kevin McQueen here. 102 receptions, almost 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns. We got our boy Kevin McQueen. That's superstar dad. I need to see a career simulation. I don't even care if you guys don't want it. I'm doing a Kevin McQueen and Devin McQueen career simulation. This is what not the world wants. It's what it needs here. Tyreek Hill, only 7 touchdowns, 1,100 yards. Kevin McQueen, so much better. Leagues ahead. Braden Thomas, 700 yards, almost 7 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, wow. you got completely outperformed by my boy Kevin McQueen. Monty McKee with 116 tackles for a loss, 17 for Jalen Phillips sacks, 11.5 for Zach Seiler, I don't care. Dude, I'm telling you, he's a baller in simulation. I don't know why. 10 sacks for Chop Robinson, his breakout year in the final year, 8.5 sacks for Jalen Phillips, 4 interceptions for Jalen Ramsey. Safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 0. Fourth and final year, can we beat our divisional rivals back-to-back years, but this time in the wild card? To move on to the divisional round, we do 14-9. Our defense is really clutching up here. Can we beat another divisional rival, this time ranked number 2 in our division, the Buffalo Bills? And we do. 20-17, or here face the 15-2 Kansas City Chiefs to move on back to the Super Bowl. Here we are against the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to open up with nothing. We're going to start out with 7. Good start for us. They're going to punt again. We're going to start with 14-0. They're going to punt again. We almost had 21-0 there, but still, they're going to end out the half with 3, 21-3 here, opening up the half, 24-3 against the Chiefs, putting a beating on them. The defense holding Mahomes to only 17 points. Actually, they're making a comeback. I should have held my tongue, but it doesn't matter. The defense holds strong, holding the Kansas City Chiefs to only 17 points as we score 27 points, 27-17. We're going to be moving on back-to-back Super Bowls here. Here we are to face the 12-5 Washington Commanders. They won the Super Bowl with Jaden Daniels in year number 2 of this simulation. Is he still there? He is. He has Superstar X Factor, has the dots, Superstar X Factor. He seems to be balling for the Commanders. For the team upgrades, Kevin McQueen, I mean, he outperformed my 99 overall Superstar X Factor Tyreek Hill, and he only gets start Ev after having over 100 receptions, almost 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns. I'm giving him Superstar Dev. You want to call it bias? Sure, I'll accept it. Devin A-Chain, I don't care. He's a Superstar X Factor, 22 touchdowns, 5.5 per carry, 1,700 yards. Amazing year for him. Monster season from Devin A-Chain. That's probably running back of the year. And yeah, he did actually get the best running back in the league. Well, technically in the AFC, you can't see in the league. But overall, yeah, he definitely deserves Superstar X Factor. If he is the best running back in his entire conference, why would he not get Superstar X Factor? So he goes up to a 99 overall Superstar X Factor with the boost. The team looks sick. Jalen Waddle didn't do so hot, so maybe I move him down to start Ed, but it's the final year. Yes, I'm going to be biased. I don't care. And then Cam Smith here with Superstar Dev. 2 new safeties with Superstar Dev. Kamara finally gets Star Dev. Hendricks has Star Dev. Chop Robinson had a breakout year, but he only gets Star Dev. For surprise, Jalen Phillips, that 1 year we had him. Yeah, that 1 year where he had 16 sacks, 12 tackles for a loss, he didn't get Superstar Dev. I forgot to give him that, but I already gave McQueen Superstar Dev, so we're just going to thug it out, and he's just going to have to deal with it. But we have an 89 overall team. Nice upgrades for the team. Nice 4th and final year. Let's see if Tua can beat Jaden Daniels to cap off this rebuild with back-to-back Super Bowl wins. Here we are against the Washington Commanders. They're going to open up with 7. We're going to respond with nothing, okay? And then they're going to punt, and then we finally put 7 on the board. They're going to immediately respond 21-7. Not a good start for us. We're going to open up the half with 7. They're going to respond with another 7. Our defense isn't holding as well as the previous games. Yeah, our defense is getting worked. Offense isn't doing much to respond. Yeah, Jaden Daniels completely worked us in this game. 38-21. We're not going to go back-to-back here. Jaden Daniels comes up with his 2nd Super Bowl ring along with Luke McCaffrey, who was offered a trade offer for Bradley Chubb earlier in the season. But of course, I didn't take it. I don't want Luke McCaffrey for Bradley Chubb. But Jaden Daniels is going to win this, and that will be the video. Still a successful rebuild because we did go back-to-back Super Bowls, and we did win one in the previous year. Obviously, you guys have eyes, so I don't know why I have to explain that. Jaden Daniels wins the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes wins the league MVP despite losing to Tua in the conference championship, and Charles Smith wins the defensive rookie of the year for the Dolphins. But anyways, guys, I thank you guys all for watching. Make sure you like and or subscribe. Again, if this video does get 150 likes, I'll do whatever rebuild the top comment says, so make sure you like up the comments as well. So apart from that, guys, I'll see you guys all in the next one.